Are we on? Are we live? Yes, we are. Here we go again. Hi. Welcome to another one of those very strange live streams. Apparently, some people watch and they still have no idea what is going on. Well, maybe today all the answers will be revealed. Here we are. It is English Addict Extra. Yes, an extra one just for you. Coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be, oh my goodness, it's England. I am looking for your likes today. Please don't forget to give me a lovely thumb under this video to show that you like what you watch. And I will be reminding you quite a lot today about this. I feel as if I want to have a little bit of love directed my way. Wouldn't that be nice? So please click the like button if you like it. Click and show that you care. Send a little bit of love my way. It would be ever so nice. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling happy today. Not too bad. Here we are once again. And yes, it is a new month, the month of summer arriving. It is the special month that always comes too soon and always goes just as fast, of course. I am talking about June. It is June the 1st, a brand new month, a brand new live stream, but unfortunately it is the same old presenter. My name is Mr. Duncan. I look at English, I talk about English. Quite often I will even speak English. You may notice from time to time I do use English. In fact, I would say for almost 100% of the time I use English. And that's what I do. I talk about the English language, and if you are a fan like me, maybe you are one of those up there. Perhaps you are an English addict, just like me. I love the English language very much. So here we are then. We've made it all the way to the middle of another week. It is a new month, and I suppose also I should mention that there are some special things happening here in the United Kingdom over the next 4 days. I'm sure you know what they are. Yes, it is Wednesday. Wednesday has arrived and we are all here together again as well. I know not everyone can join me live on Wednesdays because a lot of people have work, including me. I'm doing it right now. I hope your week has been okay so far. Don't forget, I want to see your likes today. Please give me a lovely thumb to show you care. And don't forget, if you want to tell other people about my English lessons and my live streams, then feel free to share. You are more than welcome to do so. We have some photographs coming up later on from my lovely students. Of course, I am talking about you watching out there, because without you, there would be no me, I suppose. If anyone wants to cast any blame, you can't blame me. You can blame my viewers for encouraging me to come back again and again. So you can watch me every Wednesday and also every Sunday. As I mentioned a few moments ago, there is something special happening this weekend across the UK, and I'm sure you've heard all about it. For the next 4 days, in fact from tomorrow, and it will commence over 4 days until Sunday, it is of course the Jubilee celebration taking place here as we celebrate 70 years of the Queen of England. And we will be with you on Sunday with, well, I suppose we will be talking about it. It would be very hard to ignore the fact that there are lots of celebrations taking place here over the next 4 days from Thursday to Sunday, with Sunday being the end and also the climax of the celebrations. And we will be on live at the same time with our usual English Addict. What will we be doing anything special? Not everyone is interested, so maybe you have no interest. Maybe you couldn't care less about the Queen of England. And there are many people in this country feeling the same way, to be honest. Not everyone is enjoying the celebration. Some people are deciding to do something completely different. Some people are just going to go off for a long walk. And of course, we have an extra 2 days added to the weekend. So from tomorrow, there is a 4-day holiday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Of course, for most people, Sunday is a holiday anyway because it's the weekend. So that's what's happening here. A lot of people excited. Some people not excited by the Platinum Jubilee celebrations taking place. To be honest, I have heard a lot about it. Almost too much. So just be thankful that you are where you are and you don't have to listen to the news and the radio and on the internet, all of the local news talking about the Platinum Jubilee. In fact, we've been talking about it for about the last 4 months. So I think a lot of people are already sick and tired. They don't want to hear any more. Hello to the live chat. I suppose I should say hello. Who was first on today's live chat? Let's have a look. Oh, hello to Vitas. Guess what? Once again, for the millionth time, you are first on today's live chat. Well done, Vitas. We all want to know what your secret is. I want to know, to be honest. I have a feeling that Vitas is on the live chat before I am. How can you be on here before me? I don't know how that's even possible. Congratulations, Vitas. Also, we have joining us today, once again, Luis Mendez is here as well. Hello, Lewis. Nice to see you. Zudzika. We also have Paolo. Hello to you as well. Nice to see you here. Oh, by the way, you might notice today we have the live view. So that is looking out of the window right now. You might see the occasional bird fly by. You might notice something, some animal creeping by. Who knows? But that is live, by the way. A lot of people still don't believe me, but that is a live view right now. And you can see lots of lovely blossom has come out on one of the bushes in the garden. Very nice. We also have Unique Life Design. Hello to you. And that is Diana. Hello, Diana. We also have Marialba. Hello to you as well. Thank you for joining me once again during the week. We have an extra English Addict that happens during the week. There are still many people who don't realise that I'm on during the week. So please share it with your friends in case they don't realise that there is an extra English Addict on Wednesdays. Hello, Mr. Duncan and all the classmates. Hello, Paul A. Nice to see you back as well. Ricardo is here. Claudia. Hello, Claudia. I have been a very naughty boy because I have been neglecting my emails. So this morning I decided to check my email box. It was very full. A lot of it was junk and spam, unfortunately. But there were some lovely things in there as well, including photographs. And I've just mentioned Claudia, so I'm going to show your photographs right now. Claudia! There is Claudia in the kitchen cooking something. So we can actually see Claudia's pot. What's Cooking Claudia is our new feature that we do every Sunday, where we find out not only what Claudia is cooking, but also what you are cooking as well. It is always fun to find out. So thank you, Claudia, for your lovely photograph of you in the kitchen. Very nice. Another one, Claudia has sent a photograph where you are feeding a lovely horse. One of our neighbours actually owns 2 horses. They have stables and everything. They even have one of those little areas where your horses can be trained to jump and to walk around in a certain way. A menage. Oh, I like that one. So when we talk about menage, it means meeting or gathering. You are together. And also it can be used to describe an area where a horse is trained for the purpose of show jumping, an enclosed area. So thank you, Claudia, for that. Would you like to see another photograph? This is from Olga, also in the kitchen, and we can also see what you are cooking in your pot as well. So thank you, Olga, for sending that. It's always nice to see your photographs, and I will show you the email in a moment if you want to send something my way to my email box. You are more than welcome to do so. Thank you also to Sandra Gonzalez for this lovely, beautiful view from a hotel in Buenos Aires. I believe the name is the Alvia Hotel. Looking over, well, that looks like the river, and also in the distance you can see lots of buildings as well. Very colourful. I love the purple colour. As you know, I do like the colour purple. Thank you very much, Sandra. Also, we have a photograph from Nelly as well. Nelly Dushina. I hope I pronounce your name right. Isn't this amazing? In my life, I hope one day I will have the chance to see the Northern Lights. So isn't that amazing? Absolutely glorious. And this was taken by Nelly earlier this year during a business trip. So I like this photograph, and I've never seen the Northern Lights or the Aurora. It's not easy to say, by the way. The Aurora Borealis. I'm sure I've mispronounced that. It's not easy to say. That's why a lot of people prefer to say the Northern Lights, because it's much easier to say, you see. Thank you, Nellie, for that. Very lovely, very beautiful scenery. And Nellie has also sent another photograph. This looks like, is it your wisteria tree? I believe it is. I recognise this particular tree. And I'm going to tell you a short story so you can have a little sleep. When we moved here to this house, there was a large wisteria bush growing outside. And we were quite alarmed to find out that the wisteria had not been cut for a long time. And because of that, all of the branches and all of the roots and all of the things that grow from the actual tree or bush were actually going into the brickwork and into the construction and the structure of the house. And it was starting to destroy it. So even though the wisteria bush is a lovely thing to look at, it is purple, and I love purple, but sadly we had to cut the wisteria back. Unfortunately, it was causing so much damage to the house. And I often wonder that whenever I see someone's house and they have lots of wisteria growing up the front, I always wonder underneath how much damage is actually taking place underneath the bush. I always wonder that. But thank you very much for your photographs, and if you want to send something to me, then I will put the address on the screen right now. Let's have a look, shall we? If you want to stay in touch, this is the address. You can stay in touch through email, and at the bottom of the page you can see, there it is. My email address. I will keep it on the screen for a few more moments and then you can write it down. You can send me a photograph, or if you just want to say, "Hi, Mr. Duncan. Hello." You are more than welcome to do that as well. Stay in touch through email. And if you send me something nice, maybe a photograph or maybe a nice greeting, I will maybe I will show it on my live stream. Maybe, if I remember. But I do have a very good excuse. Before anyone complains, I have a very good excuse. And the reason why my inbox, my email inbox was so full is because I had coronavirus a few weeks ago. And unfortunately, I had lots of emails. And I didn't keep up with my email inbox. So there were a lot of things going on over the past few weeks. Hello, Marwa. Marwa says, "Mr. Duncan, I sent a photograph of my twin daughters several months ago." Oh, okay. I will have to check. I will have to make sure. I'm going to have a look in my inbox later. And I will personally search for that email. I will. I'm going to do that. I will write it down right now. Marwa twin daughters. There we go. Done. I will do that later. So if you want to get in touch, once again, I will quickly show you the email address in case you missed it. There is the email address. Stay in touch through email. Do people still use email? I don't know why. Whenever I say email, it always sounds old-fashioned. It sounds like I'm talking about something from the 1950s. Because I know a lot of people nowadays don't even use email. They use those new trendy chat services like WhatsApp and Messenger on Facebook. So there are a lot of people that don't even use email anymore. Hello also to thank you, Dark Shadow. Thank you also to Mosen is here. Hello, Mosen. Nice to see you back as well. I had a very strange visitor this morning, a very unusual visitor. A big surprise when we came downstairs. We saw something sitting outside our back door. I don't know why it was sitting there, and we've never seen this happen before. It was a very unusual moment of time. Would you like to have a look? Here it is. So this is this morning, and we came downstairs, and sitting outside our back door was Mr. Pheasant. Hello, Mr. Pheasant. We couldn't work out what was going on because normally the pheasant is not this bold. Normally they're quite shy, or they will just run away when they see someone. But for some reason, and I have no idea why, I don't know why, this particular pheasant was feeling very tame. It didn't seem all that bothered. So we did feel a little bit worried at first. We thought maybe there was a problem with the pheasant. We weren't sure if the bird was injured, or maybe if it had flown into the window, because it does happen sometimes. Quite often we do get birds flying into our windows. Sometimes they survive, and sometimes they don't survive, unfortunately. But this particular pheasant was sitting right outside our door, and we don't know why. But then, after a few moments, it got up and it decided to have a little stretch as it walked around. I think it was also calling out to its friends as well. There. So when it does that, it normally makes a loud screeching sound like that, although you can't hear the sound because we are indoors. So there it is, the lovely pheasant. It woke up this morning by our door, and we were quite fascinated by it because we've never seen it before. So we're not sure what happened to the pheasant. We're not sure if it was injured or maybe it was sleeping. So perhaps it was sleeping outside the door all night. Steve said it was waiting for us to put some food out. Maybe that's true. I must admit I do like pheasants. They look lovely. And of course at certain times of the year people do eat pheasants as well. During Christmas and the beginning of January, many people will go out and they will shoot the pheasants and have them for their lunch or supper or maybe breakfast. So I hope you enjoyed that. A little glimpse into the garden this morning when we woke up. And one of the things about living in the countryside is you never know what you are going to see next. You never actually know what is going to appear outside your window or even at the back of your garden. You never know what's going to happen next. And there it was. Some cows at the back of the house. They are the ones that are actually behind the house now. And sadly, they are often covered with flies, unfortunately. I sometimes feel very sorry for them because they have to put up with those flies buzzing around them all the time. Don't forget to give me a like. Don't forget to show you care. Give me a lovely like under this video. Give me a thumbs up, and maybe a lovely smile will appear on my face at the end of today's live stream. So don't forget, give me a thumbs up. It's very easy to forget, you see. I think so, because you are enjoying my show so much. Quite often you will forget to give me a like. So there, a very friendly reminder right now. Give me a like. There. I will remind you again later on. Oh, by the way, we have a subject to talk about today. A subject that we all do from time to time. The subject is something that we often do, or we might do, in certain situations when we have to cover something up or hide something, or maybe if we want to mislead another person into thinking something that is not true. We are talking about lying, telling lies. At the moment, there are several people, several well-known people in the public eye here in the UK. And if I said that they are in the British government, you might know what I'm talking about. A lot of people at the moment being accused of lying. So I thought we would refresh ourselves with the subject of lying a little bit later on. Hello 100DOB. Apparently, a very short time ago, a Bengal tiger appeared in front of a house in the USA. There are moments of time where you might suddenly find a very unusual, or in some cases dangerous, animal in front of your house. So yes, it can happen. Did anyone see the video of the guy in Australia who was fighting a kangaroo? Now, kangaroos are lovely animals, but they can also be quite violent as well. And they are as tall as a human being. And that's another thing that it is easy to forget, that male kangaroos can be as tall as a grown person. That's very big. And there was this wonderful video last night that I watched on the news of a guy fighting off a kangaroo. And it was just like two people having a fight, a physical fight, except one of them was a man and the other one was a kangaroo. It was very strange to look at, and it suddenly reminded me, I remembered many years ago there used to be sideshows where kangaroos would box each other. They would actually fight each other. I don't think it happens anymore because many people see it as cruel, which it is, of course. But I thought that was quite funny. And the other one I remember, I think it was last year, where a family in the United States, they actually had a bear in their swimming pool, swimming around. A bear. And bears might look cuddly and cute, but they can also tear your arms off if they decide to. So they are quite dangerous creatures, quite deadly in fact in some cases. I think the worst one has to be the polar bear, because polar bears look lovely, don't they? Whenever you think of polar bears, you always think of cute and cuddly animals, and they look so lovely. In fact, they are incredibly violent. They are incredibly violent creatures. And there have been people who've been to watch or be near polar bears, and they've ended up being killed, torn to pieces, literally, by the polar bear. So sometimes in nature you might find that certain animals look lovely and cute and cuddly. But my advice is sometimes it is best to stay away and not cuddle them at all. I think so. Hello, Farhad. Hello also, Anna Vieira. Hello to you as well. Christina is here also on the live chat. Thank you very much for joining me. I always appreciate it when you give your time. I always appreciate those moments that you have that are free. And you can spend a little bit of time with me as well. It's always nice to see you here, whether it is on Sunday or on Wednesday.
I'm a big boy now.
You certainly are. A great big child, maybe. Okay, all right, calm down. Yes, okay. Another animal that looks cuddly and cute is the killer whale. Over the years, a lot of people have gone, I think it's in Florida. There is a place where they show off the killer whales and they train them to do tricks. But sometimes the killer whales decide that they want to live up to their name and do a little bit of killing. So they have actually in the past killed their trainers, the person training them. And whilst the person has been training them, suddenly the killer whale will think, I'm a little bit hungry. I fancy something to eat. And then they will. They will eat a person. And it has happened. Certain animals are not easy to train. So I would imagine the wilder the animal, the harder it is to actually train it. Claudia says, my friend was hurt by a cat. She was injured on her head and needed stitches. Well, that is one thing about cats. Cats can be really horrible. They can turn on anyone, even their owners. So I've had many experiences where a cat has come up to me and they seem all lovely and friendly, and then the next moment they turn and they become angry and vicious, like that, and then they scratch you. It's happened to me many times, and that's probably one of the reasons why I don't like cats very much. I'm not a big fan of cats, if I was honest with you. I'm not a big fan at all. I've heard in Italy that pigeons are being given contraception pills or contraceptics or contraception to stop them from multiplying. Is that true? Well, I know for a fact that in Italy they do have a problem with pigeons, or should I say pigeon poop, on their buildings. Pigeons can be annoying. But that's interesting. I'm just wondering how they are doing it. What are they doing? What are they giving to the pigeons? So the lady pigeons don't get pregnant. What are they doing? Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me. So today, let's have a look. Let's have a look what we're doing now. We are looking at today's subject, and the subject is caught in a lie. Have you ever been caught in a lie? Sometimes when you lie, maybe you do it because you are panicking, or maybe you are feeling nervous about something, and maybe you lie. But the problem is, sometimes you can become caught in the lie. So to be caught in the lie means that you have lied about something, and now you have to continue lying about it. And we will look at the subject of that right now. So if you are caught in a lie, it means you have become part of the lie that is being told or done or created or written. The act of telling a lie is to create an untruth. So the untruth is the thing that is said or written that is not true. It is an untruth. The untruth is a lie. It is not true. Something untrue and misleading. The information has been told or given. So untrue and misleading information has been told or given. A person has said something that is untrue. It is not real. It is a lie. Misleading. Quite often when a person says something or gives information that is not entirely true, we can say that they are misleading other people. They are telling you something so you will think in a certain way. But that thing is not true. They are misleading you. A lie is made, created, told, or written. So when a person lies, there are many ways of doing it. We can say that a person has made something up. They have made it up. It is not true. It is not real. It is a lie. So a lie is made, created, told, or written. Many ways of lying and many ways of expressing that lie to other people. The problem with telling a lie is that you must remember it. And that is why sometimes people are not very good at lying. Because if you tell a lie, if you make something up, you then have to remember the lie. And some people are not very good at that. So that is one of the things you must always remember if you are thinking of telling lies. Always remember what the lie is, all the details. The untrue information or story must be consistent and not change. So do not change your lie, do not change the story, or else people will start to become suspicious. They will think, perhaps, you are lying. Maybe you are telling a lie. So the untrue information or story must always be consistent. This often happens when a person accuses another person of doing something bad. And maybe their story will be one thing, but later, when they repeat the story, they miss something out, or they add something that wasn't there before. And then people become suspicious because your story keeps changing. There have been many incidents where people have accused other people of doing things. And then later, it turns out that the other person had done nothing. And that is because the story that they were telling, the lie, kept changing. So the untrue information or story must always be consistent. If you want to be a good liar, you have to remember what the lie is. Some people see lying as digging a hole. I like this expression. We often use this expression. A person is digging a hole. They are doing something or saying something that eventually they will not be able to escape from. So imagine if you are digging a hole in the ground And then slowly you will get lower and lower, deeper and deeper into the hole whilst you are digging. That is what telling a lie is like. So a lot of people do say that it's very similar to digging a hole. When you lie, you are literally digging a hole for yourself. And as we know, if the hole becomes too deep, you won't be able to get out of it. The longer the lie continues, the deeper the hole becomes. So the more you lie, the deeper the hole will become. And eventually you will not be able to get out of the hole or the lie. And that is one of the problems with lying. Once you start it, quite often you can't stop, because maybe you have to create another lie to cover up the first lie. And the hole continues to get deeper and deeper and deeper. A lie can also be described as a web. Interesting. So quite often we will use the term web of lies. A person will create a web of lies, like a spider's web. So imagine a spider's web. You are creating something that gets larger and larger and becomes more complicated. Because if you ever see a spider's web, it's always very complex. It's very intricate and very complex. So quite often when you lie, you also create a web. So we can describe a lie as being a hole that you are digging or a web that you are creating. The person telling the lie is spinning a web of deceit and treachery. I like that word. It sounds a little bit old-fashioned, but can I just say it is not. Treachery, deceit. So if you deceive someone, you are telling a lie. Something you have said is not true. We can describe it as treachery or deceit. That person has been untrue. They have been telling you lies. Here is a good saying. This is a phrase that we often use in English. It is a famous quote from a poem. I believe it was by Sir Walter Scott in the early 1800s, referring to a man who was having an affair and he was trying to hide it. I think it's connected to Henry VIII. It's an old, very old poem. But in the poem there is a very interesting line, and this is the line that a lot of people quote nowadays. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. That means that when you begin lying, you create something that will resonate. There will be implications, there will be consequences to that one lie. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, we can describe lying as spinning a web of lies. And that particular phrase comes from an old poem written at the beginning of the 19th century. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here. Hello, Claudia. My neighbour has put a bowl of water over the fence and birds will come and drink and bathe. And do you know what I think? I think about your videos, Mr. Duncan. Your videos, your lovely videos. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Parisa says, now the world is watching a person who continues to create more and more lies in the courtroom and doesn't feel embarrassed at all. I wonder who you could be talking about. I have no idea who you're talking about there. Once a lie has been told, so begins the web, or the domino effect. Have you ever heard of that? The domino effect is when lots of things are created and eventually they all fall down, or they all become one big problem. The domino effect. We might also say chain reaction as well. So a chain reaction can be described as the domino effect. One thing leads to another thing, and then that thing leads to something else. And then you have the domino effect. And eventually, when your lie is discovered, all of the dominoes will fall at the same time. They will all fall, and your lie will be exposed for what it is. So once a lie has been told, so begins the web, or the domino effect. Quite often one lie will lead to another, as more and more the original lie is covered up. And that is what I mentioned earlier. One of the problems with lying is quite often you will have to lie again to cover up the lie that you told originally. So if you try to hide something, if you try to make something up, if you say something that is not true, quite often you will have to follow that with other lies. And that is the problem with lying. And that is the reason why we often say that eventually you will be exposed. And that can be rather embarrassing, to say the least. So quite often one lie will lead to another. Of course, the worst part of telling a lie is being found out, as I mentioned a few moments ago. The problem with lying is you have to make sure the lie continues to be believed. And then once people start to doubt what you've said, maybe they will investigate, maybe they will look for clues, maybe they will try to work out why your story keeps changing all the time. So originally your lie was one thing, but over time the lie changes. It becomes another thing, and then another thing. And eventually people will become suspicious, and they will suspect that you are lying. So lies normally are bad things. We often see lying as a bad thing. Although I don't think it's in the Ten Commandments. Is it? Thou shalt not lie. I don't think it's in there. Lots of other things are in there. Thou shalt not kill. That's a good one. I think that's a good one. Although I think that should be at number 1, to be honest. That should always be top of the list. So, of course, the worst part of telling a lie is to be found out. Your lie has been uncovered. It has been exposed. The person caught telling the lie might be accused of lying through their teeth. It is an expression we use in English. If a person lies, we might accuse them of lying through their teeth. I don't trust you. I don't trust what you're saying. I think you are lying through your teeth. It is an expression that means we don't trust you. We don't believe a word you say. And one of the problems with lying, one of the problems with telling lies, is quite often in the future you won't be believed by other people. Whatever you say, even if the thing you are saying is completely true, you might find that other people will not believe you. They will doubt what you say. They will not believe you, because if you lie in the past, you will find that in the future people will not trust you. They will not believe you. Unfortunately, society forces people to lie sometimes, and if they don't, they can't survive in this crazy world. Parisa, yes, I think you are right. Sometimes lying is necessary. I suppose one of the most common forms of lying comes when you are applying for a job. Let's face it, we all do it. We all change the details of our experience in the past, the things we've done in our lives, maybe the qualifications we have. Quite often we will make small changes. So when you are writing about your past experience, it is very tempting and very easy to add something or change something, or maybe to leave something out if you are trying to get a job somewhere. And this happens all the time. People do embellish the truth. So technically, it's not lying, but it is, in fact, lying. But everyone does it. So sometimes you have to tell little lies. You have to make things appear different to what they actually are. And it does happen. It happens quite often. I think we all do it from time to time. Some people might describe these as white lies. A white lie is a lie that the person telling the lie believes it is harmless. It won't cause any harm. We often describe that as a white lie, a little lie, because we don't want to hurt someone else's feelings. Maybe your friend has just bought a new dress and she's showing you the dress and you're thinking, ooh, I don't think that dress is suitable for you. But you don't want to say it because you know you will hurt your friend's feelings. So instead you say, yes, it looks good. It looks nice. Yes, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So sometimes a friend might lie. They will tell a little white lie because they don't want to hurt their friend's feelings. Hello to Gemeris333, hello to you. Thank you very much for your super sticker with the little character who looks like they're going for a run and they're doing a little dance at the same time. Hey, you as well. Thank you very much for your super chat. I don't get very many super chats, so when I do get them, I'm always very pleased. Don't forget also to like this live stream. I am asking today, specially, a big special like for my live stream today would be lovely. Ricardo says, when we sometimes say lies are necessary, we often believe our own lies. Yes. I always remember a very funny line from Seinfeld, which is a classic comedy series. And I believe it was the character George who often lies. And he was giving advice to another character in one of the episodes. And he said, remember, it's not a lie if you believe it. And I think that's a great line. So if you tell a lie, the best way to tell it is to believe it. You believe that that lie is actually real. Of course, some people go too far. They start to make crazy lies. They start to create lots of different lies about themselves, maybe things that they've done in the past that cannot be proven. So you do have to be careful. Thank you very much for your company today. I think we will leave it there as we have just approached and passed 3 o'clock. Lying is good or lying is bad. Sometimes we lie because we have to. Sometimes we have to do it to survive. Sometimes we have to do it to protect ourselves. But I think it is safe to say quite often lying is not the best way to go. Thank you for your comments today. Thank you very much for your input, joining in. I am going in a moment. Thanks for your company. Don't forget I'm back on Sunday. And don't forget also give me a like as well. I will keep this on the screen for a few moments. Don't forget to give me a lovely thumbs up under the video as well. And then hopefully more people will find out about my live streams. Thanks, Marwa. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Thank you very much to Claudia, also Lewis, Ricardo. Interesting. Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. Some interesting comments coming through. I will read those later. I always like to watch my live stream again. Thank you very much for joining me. We are back on Sunday. Of course, we have the Platinum Jubilee, celebrating 70 years of the Queen of England sitting on her big golden throne. So all of that coming up on Sunday. Mr. Steve will be here as well on Sunday. Of course he will. Of course. So you might say that there will be 3 queens being celebrated on Sunday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you soon, hopefully on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. You know what's coming next. You know what is coming next. I'm sure you know. Don't forget to press that like button and also smash the subscribe button as well. You can subscribe and follow everything that I do if you want. And of course, until the next time, ta-ta for now.